Hi, hello. Can we all just get along? Okay, so I have made this video only to share my thoughts, my points of view, and everything regarding to known as the war in the Holy Land, the war on Israel, or Palestine, or whatever you take, right? My take and everything that I have seen in YouTube videos and all that stuff, right? This land has been a long history. It is written in the Bible, even though it was called Israel, the kingdom of Israel, before they formed the state of Israel, and so on. It was been controlled for so many years by the Roman Empire, the Ottoman Empire, the British Empire. Now, as to they have this form of solution. This is from Zion. With Hertz and this guy named Rothschild, with the Rothschild, right? This is all as it is of abuse of power that I've seen that both sides have been to have the blame on. All right, so I'm talking about all this. I am in neither side. All right, why did I think I am not in neither side of this? Is because there's only a solution. Ceasefire might just let Hamas take over. All right, there are so many things that is going on right there between Israel and Palestine. And how do we get along? How the hell can we get along? Can we all just get along there? Stop with this nonsense. Stop with this, all right? This is just conclusion that I've seen even videos of Yasser Arafat. Yasser Arafat has a very clear and minded idea of a Palestine living within peace with Israel. I've been talking as a bad guy, whatever it is. Yeah, and try to fight these Hamas people. It has been for years. Hamas, all right. So, what does Hamas or Hezbollah have in common? All right. So, what it is that we all want peace. We don't want this kind of mess, and all in between. But just governments just leading by all to protests. Pro-Israel and pro-Palestine protests, all right? The only thing that I'm sure, if you're living right here in the United States, that the next candidate will lift the ban on rifles, lift the ban on machine guns, all right? So, this is not that I believe in every politician in common. This is where I don't agree with governments trying to lure with this. Right here in the United States, it goes along with the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is right to bear arms. All right, when you have the right to bear arms, the right to legally buy a gun, and those Second Amendment rights and something like that. You have the First Amendment is freedom of speech. They show Rashida Tlaib. That means that she don't have that First Amendment. But the Second Amendment, in the other hand, that is going to be in the 2024 presidency, And by 2024, whoever wins presidency to replace Joe Biden, they're going to just relax, raise the machine gun ban, raise the fully automatic assault rifles ban. They're gonna buy fully automatic. I mean, like, people have the choice to buy fully automatic assault rifles. You have the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, as Bibi, at a NRA conference, talking about the living and why supporting the government of Israel would be with the rights of the Second Amendment, responding to the pro-Palestinian protesters with the Second Amendment, using fully automatic firearms, machine guns. They use it, and they go ra-ta-ta-ta-ta, and this is, oh, America's a great country, but they said, I'm gonna take America. He's been a great country when there's mass shooting everywhere, when there's free Palestine protests and whatever it is, and they go and Hamas infiltrators came into here too, and all this stuff, and like he says, oh, there's mass shooting. What is gonna be about here in the States? It is about the people that are killed are pro-Palestine activists. Who's the shooter? Somebody that's going pro-Israel. Netanyahu say, thanks, it's been great. America has been great again. All right, this is Bibi saying this kind of stuff at an NRA conference, thanking this rule. All right, so that takes in place that this is what it is nothing more than just one case of where we're gonna give this and there. The U.S. are really close allies with Britain, and how the state of Israel has started. It started with the mandate of Palestine, British mandate of Palestine. That is, trying to have this concept and all that stuff and whatnot. But it's still like that. It is a good idea to bring the only Jewish state in there, but still there's people in there that I believe and I think that they should coexist. I mean, that does not mean that I'm against Palestinians or the Palestinians. I am against Hamas. I am against what is the stand for of the screw up, or let me tell you what is the other part of the Holy Land. It's like Latin America. It's just like Latin America, like more like on Colombia or whatever. That okay, they just go and make peace with the guerrilla. I mean, with terrorists. I mean, there's the Hamas is just a guerrilla group within Palestine, and ceasefire is not the only way to go. I mean, the only solution to this problem besides the ceasefire is the Palestinians themselves, that they need to get up, have some revolution, and form a republic. I mean, they want to free Palestine, they have to do it by themselves without the help of China. All right? Palestine doesn't need help from China. And why not help from China? Because after all, Hamas is like Nazi Germany. I don't want to see the Gaza Strip turn into another Pearl Harbor. All right? Another Pearl Harbor. I mean, whatever it is, out of out of all of history that is going on in here, that we could reach to the point of World War III. I mean, you have Ukraine and Russia. I mean, Russia needs to leave the Ukrainians alone and let them live within peace, and Putin is supposed to get out of here. You know, he is another man guilty of war crimes. I mean, killing, massacring, and Ukrainians are massacring a bunch of Ukrainian men, women, and children, and blowing up hospitals. This is where I don't agree. But then on the other hand, you could agree, just because Hamas has, attacked Gaza and all that stuff, then you have the Israel right there and the IDF doing the same thing as Russia does. All right, so I mean, this is just a hypocrisy that, I mean, does God wants to fight each other in the promised land? Is that what God wants? Okay, and then what else you could been in? Let China get in the action? Look, if some of you would notice about it, that let me tell you, back in history, for all of you, and most likely Chinese Americans or people of Chinese descent. You remember when some of your ancestors, some of these ancestors, the ones that have raped your women, and put them into forced prostitution, when the United States nuked them? Are there any idea that these poor innocent children, men, women, and children, who has nothing to do with those assholes that rape Chinese women, have something in common to drop an atomic bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Well, put yourself in your shoes. All right? Put yourself in their shoes. In the shoes of these people that have nothing to do with the assholes that rape your great grandmothers or great aunts, or relatives that are women who were victims of sexual slavery. All right, these people, I mean, they're gonna have their time done, and I hope that one day that China becomes a democracy and whatnot. But one thing I don't want to see is that still what it is, the CCP or that government, where they say, I'm not just talking about the Taiwan area, I'm talking about mainland China, where to help the Palestinians and go into Gaza and all that stuff. That's Pearl Harbor. That is Pearl Harbor. And then they just come and get it and see your freaking ancestors, if you have family members living in China, get to experience what the Japanese get to experience back in 1945. This time, China is Japan, Israel is America. And to say whoever's supported, this is under the name of God. This is doing on God's favor. The atomic bomb dropped on China it has God's seal of approval. But what God? Yeah, the God of money. I mean, this is for you. But what are you guys in Israel and Palestine? Israel, because your government needs to do. I mean, this is like saying, I'm not in favor of the last president, whatever has done, and all this craziness in the White House. All right, I'm not gonna mention a name, but hey, look, I'm just saying, regardless of political party, look at what all this mess going on in this country, right? I don't want another mess or going on again by another leader lifting the machine guns ban that let every civilian receive a fully automatic assault rifle just to kiss ass and kiss the ass of the Israeli government, just to kiss Israel's ass. Yeah, the kissing the ass of the Israeli government. All right, no, the ass of Netanyahu. All right, no, I'm not gonna go just to kiss his ass. No, it's like, what I'm gonna do? Wake up on the TV? Oh, there's a mass shooting. Somebody, people holding free Palestine from the river to the sea, and then they get killed for saying that shit. All right. No, I don't want that. This is what it is, as biblically speaking, as what it is with Exodus, as it is with Moses. You trade your golden calf for a golden swine. That's your God. The golden swine, the piggy bank, the almighty dollar, the dollar gods, all right? That's just part of one of the 10 commandments rules. There's no other gods beside me. And guess what God is it? Is the God of money. Yeah, all in the name of money, all right? So that's what it is. Nuclear weapons. And then if one will be attacking there, you're going to toss it on China, probably, and whatnot. That's not what it is of Judaism. That is not even in Christianity, nor any beliefs or faith, or in other words, God doesn't want to toss nuclear weapons into somebody lending a helping hand. Or if the Chinese were lending a helping hand, well, that's what I don't want to see, all right? Or if you want to hold money on Hamas, I mean, that's where we're going, and this is where you get this. Who provides with the CCP? It is would it be all these other Arab nations? It's not just Arab nations. It's not just a guy who lives in Qatar, but also China. Xi Jinping is one of the biggest providers to pay for Hamas. That's what it is, all right? You have another Chinese puppet, and it's a gorilla in Palestine. What it is that I want, and therefore a free Palestine, is to have somebody that is a revolutionary person who thinks like George Washington. If you don't remember who's George Washington, is the first American president that get rid of the British, and they have become an independent nation. All right, so this is why it's called the United States of America, a republic to which it stands. All right, so that's one thing that I would say, that one nature under God. All right, this is God's land that we're talking about, as it is biblically written. It says Israel, yes, Palestine. What's what the Romans is called, right? Palestine Republic. All right, that is used to form the Republic of Palestine. That is what I want. Somebody, this is just like what it is when I see Arafat. Like people like you thinking of, when you think of the free Palestine, if you want to be a president of the United States, you put yourselves in the shoes of Abraham Lincoln or John F. Kennedy. And you know what happened with Abraham Lincoln. If Abraham Lincoln were to be alive today, John Booth gets away with murder right by now, all right? And he'll be a free man, you know? This is like, I'm just saying, one country to coexist into what it is. What I was thinking of is that one country to coexist within Israel, that'll be their neighbors, led to one perseverance, that country will be free. It becomes a republic. It has presidents, elections, and to what it stands, a new leader facing the right leadership for the people. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, all this similarity of thoughts as the USA, as the United States, as of every single democracy in the world that is known as a republic. And what it is that I would love to see is that it would be led by a Christian leader. I mean, it would be approved by Rome, by the Orthodox Christians, by all the other Christian organizations, Protestant Christian organizations, to look forward that Palestine exists as a Christian nation, that it has freedom of religions, that could have Muslims, Jewish people, and Christians live within peace and harmony, welcoming people from the state of Israel, and have Gaza. And the one decision making to do is, the first thing that they need to do for this revolutionary individual, that I believe there's Christians in Palestine, is that one of them have to stood up, have to look through the history of the United States, follow the footsteps of George Washington, and look forward for what this new Palestine Republic stands for. I mean, a Christian leadership with freedom of religion, regardless if it's Catholics, Orthodox Christians, Protestants, that is, would be set up in the UN and to be represented as it coexists to live in peace with the state of Israel. All right? That's what I want, and that's the only solution that I wish that I could happen. Other than that, it's just plain bringing problems here. Freaking going protest. Oh, I stand with Israel. I free Palestine. This. Cops giving out guns, shooting protesters with machine guns who in favor in Palestine. Even in America, or if it comes to a bunch of mass shootings, and you have Benjamin, BB is thinking, going in an NRA meeting that America's great with all the mass shootings everywhere of all people getting their AR-15s, AKs, Uzis, and shoot a bunch of pro-Palestine protesters, right? Nobody wants this kind of crap here, not even people here in America. What I want is those two countries to get their stuff together, to get their shit together, and form and recognize. That's how what the Yasser Arafat, who was a Muslim, has said the same ideology, the same ideals, to set up a republic to which it stands. I mean, this has to be served in my mind of Christian leadership in the new Palestine Republic, in the newly reformed Republic of Palestine. Why? Because what it is to form the Republic of Palestine, it has to be within Palestine to fight the Hamas leaders, and this is just a ceasefire. This is not Israel's problem to solve the Palestine problem. Let the new Republic of Palestine solve the Hamas problem. Let them get rid of them. Yes, let them get rid of them. Don't get Israel involved. Just get Palestine get involved with a Christian leadership, with somebody that is thinking of, somebody that is thinking of the same ideals as George Washington when they get rid of the British right here in the USA. Yeah. And point of that's what it is. And a state and a Palestinian state or republic that have the approval of the Vatican. Yep, approved by the Vatican, approved by the Orthodox Church, approved by all the Christian denominations, that this was settled in, that this is where Jesus is. Maybe we'll settle in the republic, and the capital of the republic would be either to vote for Jerusalem or Bethlehem. All right, that's the kind of the concrete agreement to sign into the paper that just one country, that Palestine exists. That's it. Just as Palestine exists as a country that works the same way as the United States of America. It's a republic, as it stands for, freedom of religion, that anybody could practice Judaism, could practice Islam, could practice Christianity, or whichever other religion freely without any prosecution. Why? Because that is a need in there, Most likely that this would have to be in one thing and one thing only. And most likely that I'm in faith for, and within my faith, that the Pope should come and interfere. There's nobody else, not even Benjamin Netanyahu, could fix this kind of problem. All right, it's just the only person that could fix this thing within Palestine and Israel is the leader of the Holy See. All right, so it's just the leader of the Holy See is the only one that could fix up. And then whatever it is with the mind of the new leader, who is a president, who has nothing to do with the Holy See, but a person that, by its help and probably of support of any other U.S. allies that will support a republic, a Palestinian republic. Yes, a U.S. ally, could be Japan, could be South Korea, and stand up to the cause, fighting against Hamas, that the Palestine Republic or the Republic of Palestine could take down Hamas, live in peace with Israel, and you have a free Palestine. Israel lives in peace. They have a conclusion and agreement if they want to choose what would be the capital of this Palestinian Republic, to either be Jerusalem or to either be Gaza or maybe probably Bethlehem. It is like the place where Jesus was born. I mean, one is a Jewish state, the other is a Christian state, or what it is approved by the Vatican. All right, I mean, that's the only solution. Any other way, is hell break loose, and then after that, nuke a country. And when you finally you go and nuke a country, you know how long would World War II it is? I mean, not to make peace with Germany, and the United States have not nuked Germany, but peace with Japan. Peace with Japan. I mean, but this is also, in conclusion, if you want to speed things up, I mean, Taiwan could declare Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, just to speed up the process for Israel to press the button to launch a nuclear bomb to China. That's it. And then we don't want that kind of stuff. But all we want to do is to stop with the nuclear bombs, stop Hamas. That's the most important thing. Stop Hamas is to form a new state within Palestine with the help of one of the U.S. allies, and form a republic backed by Rome, the Orthodox, and other Christian denominations, as a state that it could coexist alone. All right, it could coexist alone. You have Palestinian Christians, Palestinian Catholics, Palestinian Orthodox to live in peace, and yes, to live in peace with the Israelis. Israel will still have their state, the only Jewish state of Israel. The state of Israel will be there. Palestine would be a republic, Christian leadership, and probably might be another tip of the iceberg, another a way to say, okay, probably Palestine would be a Christian country. That, in all this meaning, it would be a country that respects freedom of religion. Jews could worship freely, Muslims could worship freely, Christians could worship freely. Why? Because that's the place where Jesus Christ was born, and they do this celebration to celebrate Christmas. And if they celebrate Christmas in Palestine, it would be awesome to have this Christmas celebrations, the Messiah, where Jesus has landed, and the approval by the Vatican that the state of Palestine is still there, as it coexists, people living free in a democratic republic, living next to the only Jewish state that existed, and to coexist with each other, living in peace and harmony. That's what I want. Peace in Gaza, peace in Palestine, peace in Israel. Israel as a free state, as the only Jewish state. Palestine free as an independent nation, as a republic, Christian leadership with a president having elections same as every other country, like every 4 years, or either the president would be 1 term or 2 terms. You vote, having presidential elections, votings, and remind that the Palestine nation is a Christian nation ideology, not to forget them, and living in peace with their Muslim brothers and sisters, and even living in peace within Jewish. That's the kind of Palestine want. Living in peace with Israel, with all this nonsense, and getting rid of Hamas. And to the extent that people that would just have even violating that this is not into Jewish law, or what it is that these leaders that Israel has faced, that have been massacred Palestinians, and to take it, approved by the Vatican, approved by the Orthodox, approved by all Christian denominations, and that it will take this republic to the past leaders, even to Benjamin Netanyahu, to the court in Hague, Netherlands, that they want to stay of the same thing what a past Colombian president have done, Uribe, they have done with false negatives about probably false positives, with probably these false positives with Netanyahu and some people who are probably Christian, having nothing to do with Hamas, being murdered and murdering Christians, murdering Palestinians. And then this is the same thing as what the Roman did when they captured and murdered Christians, right? So there would be had enough justice for the Christian Palestinians, justice for all Palestinians. The Republic of Palestine versus the State of Israel at the Hague, and not just this, but the people who are the Hamas members being in court, along with Netanyahu and all these other leaders, that the State of Israel has done any harm, that has nothing to do to what it is, that to recognize that God's people will have to live within. Christian, Jews, Muslims, all of God's people should live in peace, in coexistence, all right? And try to be fairly justice for all. Why? Because that's what I wish that everybody else who thinks like that, even Palestinian Christians, that would think like, oh, this is what I want my country to be. I want it to live in peace. I want to live in peace with Israel, and to respect. It's not the government. It's not to respect the government. It's not the Israel nuts, all right? So the Israel nut, and then that's what they came up with, Israel, all right? So that is the coexistence of a country that respect the other side of its coexistence, and notice that this new Palestine Republic have a Christian leadership that follows the same kind of rules of freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and all the freedoms that kind of have the similarities to the United States of America, and coexistence that I believe that just a two-state living in peace and harmony, Christians, Jewish, Muslims, and all other faiths living in peace and harmony within God's holy land. Yes, most likely Christians, Jewish, and Muslims that in a Christian leadership in Palestine and the Jewish state as their neighbors to work along with peace and harmony. That's the type of unity, or that's the kind of type of, I believe what it is would be a free Palestine living in peace within the Jewish state of Israel. That's the thing I want, and that's it. You know, you could write me in a comment, subscribe to me on Embargo Man, and I mean, if you're watching from Israel, I hope you understand. I hope you understand the concept of a Palestine Republic, Christian leadership, freedom of religion within the Republic of Palestine, and what it is for the formation of the Republic of Palestine, that it will take some certain leaders of Israel to the court in Hague in the Netherlands. So, goodbye, peace out. May God be peace within you. God bless the people within his land, the chosen land that he stood there. Israel, Palestine, all of God's children, take care of yourselves and may God bless you. Goodbye.